In the near future, a cataclysmic event renders most of the global populace sleepless, and not only in Seattle, but all over the planet. All the electronic devices are fried and devoid of a good night's sleep. People begin to hallucinate, kill each other off, break into shops, and create cults. Mark Rasso's post-apocalyptic survival movie Awake begins with this gripping premise, but the ending does not deliver the catharsis one would anticipate. The story, which seems similar to Bird Box, probes into the life of a family comprising of single mother Jill and her children, Matilda, and Noah. Matilda is seemingly unaffected by the phenomenon, and therefore, she finds herself in a peculiar position in the hullabaloo. Endowed with the knowledge of Matilda's special ability, the life of Jill comes to a crossroads as she must choose whether to protect her or to give her up to be a government guinea pig for the betterment of humanity. As the disaster movie comes to a close, it keeps some strands open, which may be explored in a follow-up production. So, if you are interested in knowing the prospects of a sequel, you can consider us your ally. Awake premiered globally on June 9, 2021, on Netflix. While some critics praised the compelling acting, especially of Gina Rodriguez, who previously wowed the critics by her commendable acting in Annihilation, honest emotions, and sparks of momentary brilliance, some felt that the story was too scattered to come together in a coherent way. Let us now probe into the prospects of a sequel. The director himself did not comment on following the story with the sequel. When asked about his future projects, he said about a couple of seemingly unrelated projects, including a documentary and a TV pilot. He said that he was working on an adaptation of a George R.R. Martin novel, and yes, this is the same novelist who penned the epic fantasy series Game of Thrones, so you may have ample reason to be excited. Coming back to the film, it generally received modest reviews from fans and critics. The narrative is somewhat episodic, and although the journey of the film is one fraught with uncanny spectacles and nail-biting intrigue, the anticlimactic ending fails to live up to the promises of the story that is so intricately woven in the course of the film. In short, the film polarized the audience to a visible extent. The film figures somewhat as a realistic retelling of the zombie horror genre segment, since when people stay awake for too long, they apparently behave somewhat like zombies. And zombie horror films are known to have sequels and spin-offs. One can take the example of Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead film franchise and the Resident Evil franchise. On the other hand, if we are to consider the film as a post-apocalyptic survival movie, you would know that this is not a genre that ensures sequels, sans a few classics like Mad Max. So, it is hard to tell whether the film would have a sequel based on the genre itself. If we reflect upon the ending of the film, that may give us some assurance since the story has scope for future development. In the end, Matilda finds the cure, and the kids experiment with their theory on their mother, Jill. Jill is drowned in a lake to initiate a near-death experience. When the kids take her back to the shore, Jill seems to be dead. However, as the screen turns dark, we hear Jill gasping for air, and one would conclude that she is still alive and the world still needs to be saved. However, the open-ended conclusion alone does not ensure a sequel, as producers are to pull the final strings. After considering all the aspects, we believe it is highly unlikely that the Awake sequel will be made. Thank you for watching our video. Hope you like it. Hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe our channel.